feel so bad for her.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl What's Up Yellow back with another motherfucking video. And if you can't tell by the title, this here is your girl's birth vlog. I just want to start the video by saying your girl just got her nails done 3 days ago. And me putting this camera and the dog on tripod is chipped, okay? So just off of that, I should be getting views, okay, to compensate for this, because this don't make no sense. Anyway, that's not the point of the video. My daughter is currently sleeping. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can while she's sleeping. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I didn't get as much film as I wanted to. I wanted to pretty much get the whole process, like from beginning to when my contractions started to going through labor, but it didn't work out that way. For one, when the contractions started, filming was the last thing him and I were thinking of. And two, once I actually got to the hospital, one of the nurses, as you'll see in the clip, kept just nitpicking every time she saw the camera. You can't film in here, you can't film in here. Yes, we should have hid the camera. We did not think about that in the moment because it was time, okay? It was time to push and it just wasn't even a thought. I wish it would have been. I wish we would have planned and thought about this and talked about it, but we didn't. So I'm here to fill in the gaps in between each clip that you're gonna see. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get into it, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna try to remember as much as I can. That night before I gave birth to her, which was April 27th, so on the 26th, that night about 8 o'clock, I started getting contractions. They were, I don't know, like an hour apart. They were real light. I could sleep through them, no pain. I could just feel it. It felt like period cramps. Sorry, men that are watching this, you're not gonna understand what that feels like, but my women do. It was just real faint, okay? Nothing I couldn't handle. So I'm just like, okay, you know, honestly, I get really bad period cramps and that was nothing. So I'm like, if it builds up to how I get real bad period cramps, I can take this. I'm gonna take this like a G, you know? So needless to say, I slept through that night. All that night, I was getting these, you know, these contractions or whatever. I went to the bathroom and I noticed that I had lost what looked to be like my mucus plug. Which wasn't my mucus plug the first time around when I first saw that, okay? Fast forward, I wake up about 2 o'clock and I end up using the bathroom again. And as I wipe, you know, sorry if this is too much information. That's just the kind of person I am. I lay it out on the floor, so if this is too much, you might want to click out this video. But I used the bathroom again at 2 a.m. I wiped, I saw the mucus plug. So I took a picture of it. It might be too much for some people, but like I said, I just put it all out there. I'm a mom now. My vagina has been open to the doctors for going on a year now, so there's nothing secret or private to me anymore, to be completely frank with you guys. Fast forward again, it is now the next morning. I'm noticing that my contractions are becoming closer together. They're about 15 minutes apart. The pain is increasing. It's not excruciating, still nothing that I can't handle. It's just I know that I lost my mucus plug at this point, and that my contractions were closer together, so I decided to contact my OB to see if I could come in so she could check me to see if I was dilated enough, because I've watched so many labor videos where they feel like they're going into labor, they go to the hospital, and because they're not dilated to a certain point, which I believe is like a 5 or a 6, that they just send you home. I'm not trying to drive 45 minutes to a hospital to get turned back around because it's not time, you know? So I'm like, and plus me and my OB had already previously talked about this. She's like, you know, once you get there, you're pretty much stuck. You're like imprisoned. So you're gonna want to stay at home, be in the comfort of your own home, shower, eat, lay on the couch, try to do as much as you can handle at home, right? So at this point, this is what I've been doing. I knew my contractions had started the night before, but I'm just trying to, you know, work it out. I get to my OB's office and she checks me and she said, you are a 4. You need to go now. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's happening, you know? Well, today is probably the day you guys are having contractions all night. I'm on my way in now. I drive back home and I let him know, I'm like, you know, it's time. She said that we need to go. We already had the car loaded up. We get in the car, we go. I did say I wanted to shower and I wanted to eat. I showered before I went to that doctor's appointment with my OB, which thank God she fit me in right that second, the second I freaking called her. On the way to the hospital, we stopped at Wendy's. I got my food. I'm over in this seat freaking moaning and groaning. We're almost there. We arrive at the hospital. This is where my nerves start to kick in, y'all. My nerves start to kick in. Every time I even think about it, I just get frustrated. I understand that there's a process that you have to go through, medical procedures that have to be taken first. I understand that, but I am in labor, okay? At this point, my contractions are like 5 minutes apart, dilated to a 6 or 7 at this point. I am in pain. And you know what's really funny about contractions is when you're not contracting, you feel fine. Like, girl, you can go to the club, you can jump around, everything's cool. But the second that contraction hits, you're like paralyzed. And it's so funny because after it's over, you just go back to normal. But that's besides the point. I've been to this hospital before, you know? So you would think all my information is in the system. Instead of them taking me to my room because I don't know, I'm in labor. Let me go back a little bit. I overpacked, okay? I am a new mom. I didn't know what to bring. I didn't know how long I was gonna stay there. Anything could have happened. I got to go home within 2 days. I could have went home the very next day, but I chose to stay an extra day. But most people, you know, if you have problems, you could be there for a week. Your child could be in NICU. Anything could happen. So I overpacked. I had a whole duffel bag for myself, a whole duffel bag for him, a duffel bag for our shower stuff, a whole damn duffel bag for Liv. It was ridiculous, okay? And I'm sitting in this wheelchair. I'm holding all these duffel bags. We got duffel bags hooked on the handles. He's got a duffel bag over his shoulder. We look like we are moving in at this point. Y'all see how we moved in? And I get wheeled up to this front desk where this lady has the nerve to hand me a clipboard, you guys, a clipboard, and wants my license and my insurance and all my information to fill out. Okay, for one, my information should already be in the computer stored somewhere. I have been here before. Two, I'm in labor. I am literally contracting in this hallway where everyone can freaking see me. They're eyeballing me. I'm moaning and groaning. I can't get comfortable. I am holding all these bags and you want me to fill out this paperwork. I am about to deliver a baby. It's not like I'm about to get up and walk out of here anytime soon. You couldn't have, I don't know, handed me the paperwork after, had me fill it out afterwards, had me get to my room and then fill it out. No, you had me sitting in this seat where I can't let go of anything. I move one arm, everything freaking goes falling down. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg, okay? Then I'm over here contracting, right? So it's like, I'm not comprehending anything I'm reading. I am getting so frustrated. The only thing I got was my name and my address. It's asking me my pharmacy address, my pharmacy phone number, all these questions. I don't know, because you know what this means? I gotta pull up my phone. I gotta Google. I gotta find out all this information to get to you guys, which is not what I'm trying to do. I am in pain. I am in labor. I am not comprehending anything. I'm getting so frustrated. I was even telling Rick, I was like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. Rick, I don't understand. I literally filled out what I could. I gave the lady my stuff and I told her, like, you know, pretty much like, I'm done. That's it. That's all you're gonna get out of me for right now. This is the last thing I'm thinking of. So they finally get me to my room. My water hadn't broken. They ended up having to break my water. Uh-oh. I hear her crying. Well, she's up. If I can recall right, we were talking about my water. So my water had not broken at this point. When I got admitted and when they had checked me, I was 6 centimeters dilated. So she wanted me to try and get my water to break on my own. She had already been face down, so I had no issues aside from my water not breaking. She had me sitting in the rocking chair, as you guys will see. She's got me in this rocking chair to bring down the baby. I'm having heartburn, y'all. I had already told you guys they won't allow me to eat anything except for ice. And once again, Rick was able to get some footage. So the rest of the footage that you guys are going to see from here on out is going to be from his end, you know, his view of things. But the next clip, you know, it'll be showing him going to go get me some ice. It was cold, it was soothing, and everybody knows no ice is better than hospital ice. There is something about that ice, okay? It was just so good. While he's gone, I end up having a contraction. So
what's up, y'all? Nice and some ice. It's happening. It's goddamn happening. We're about to have Olivia. We're about to have our daughter. We just came to the decision that she gonna have the doctors break her water. She been having contractions all day. Started yesterday and this morning she having them every 5 minutes. Getting her this ice. She can't eat nothing. Here you go. Took me a minute to find the cups. Well, boy. Those are contractions right there to the right. The left is Olivia's heartbeat. You just had one while I was gone. Yeah. What's happening? That boy go up to 80. It's okay. It's alright. back in November.
The nurse comes back in and she's like, you know, she sees that my water still hasn't broken. She told me that she wants me to try walking around, bouncing on this ball, sitting in this rocking chair. We're trying to do all these things. And she said, if not, you know, we're gonna have to break your water. I heard that and I don't know why, but I thought this was gonna be painful. So I called my aunt. I called my Aunt Kathy and I'm like, hey, they're talking about breaking my water. You know, is that gonna be painful? What should I expect? What should the feeling be? And she told me it's painless. Like I'm just pretty much gonna feel the gush. It's gonna be warm. Obviously it's fluid inside my body, but pretty much that would be it. So the following time that the nurse decided to come back in, she let me know. She's like, okay, did you want to break your water? And I said yes.
All right, we're gonna check in, see where you're at, okay? So I need you to get back in the bed to do that.
Breaking the water right now.
So they broke my water. They used like this little hook. It kind of looks like a crochet needle. I'm not sure the correct term, but that's what it looks like. And they just pretty much, they go in, they break your water. It was painless. It was quick, fast, easy. I did feel the big gush, and as you'll see in the next clip, the nurse lets me know, you know, from here on out, you're gonna be wet.
All right, so you are gonna be wet from here on out, okay?
Fun fact, I wore my white Birkenstock slides from the moment I went in till I gave birth. Even after I pushed her out, I wore them the entire time. It never even occurred to me to take them off. They were lucky that they got me out of my clothes and into that nightgown, okay? Seriously, I literally gave birth in my slides. That's so funny. But anyway, you know, you're gonna be wet from here on out, like I said, which I was. She also informed me your contractions are going to start happening even faster now, because at this point I'm now 8 centimeters dilated, 7, 8, I don't know. All I know is from the time that she broke my water till the time it was time to push, it had only been like 45 minutes. So she was definitely right when she said it happens fast. And in these following clips, you're going to see my moaning and groaning as my contractions progressed, and they started to be a minute apart.
Did you feel it? I'm sorry. No epidural, she taking it like a straight up gangster. SpongeBob going on. Well, it's not SpongeBob right now, it's a commercial. Favorite show going on TV. I feel so bad for her. On a scale, 1 to 10, what is it now?
Like a 9.
Damn. Playing a waiting game. Olivia need to come out, putting her through all this pain.
So here is the part I was forewarning you guys about, where the nurse is just
You can't actually film anything while we have our hands on.
about the whole camera thing. I almost wish that we even set the camera down so that way we could pick up even audio of what was happening. But like I said, the time it came, and that was the last thing that was on both of our minds. I had this conversation with my mother-in-law multiple times about pretty much her birth, what she went through, how she knew it was time to push, and all these things. And she always told me, okay, you guys are gonna laugh, especially when you hear it in this clip, because it actually got caught in the clip. Don't laugh at me, okay? She told me it's going to feel like you have to poop. It feels like you have to take the biggest shit in the world. It was her exact words, okay? I'm sitting up in this hospital bed, right? They got my bed sitting up like an L, so I'm actually sitting up, and everything was cool. I'm feeling my contractions, I'm in pain, whatever. But then they lay me back, and I don't know what that does, scientifically, medically, I don't know, but they laid me back. Child, I felt what she was talking about, okay? All I kept yelling was, I have to poop!
I gotta poop!
Like, I have to poop. And I didn't feel like I had to shit. I could just feel my asshole opening, which is something that happens when you gotta push. Also TMI, but like I said, you already know how I am, all right? It's true. I could feel it. And then, so I'm pushing how I think I would have to push, like that, okay? So the nurse is over here talking to me. She's holding my hand. At this point, I am in such pain that it never even like occurred to me to really listen to my surroundings. I blocked everybody out. I am in pain. Like I literally took myself to another world. It's truly an out-of-body experience. I can't describe it. You have to give birth naturally in order to understand, which I also did not include yet. I gave birth naturally. Never once took any pain medication, never took an epidural. From the second I walked in to the time I gave birth to her until I walked out, no pain medication. I did it all natural. Coming back to me because I was so determined. She kept asking me, are you sure? Are you sure? Because it's too late to turn back now if you say no. And I looked at her and I'm like, listen, lady, I told you when I came in here I didn't want it. I still don't want it. I'm doing this, okay? I'm taking this like a G, like the thug I am. But anyway, no epidural, right? I told you I was pushing, and then she finally grabbed my hand and she calmed me down and she said, I don't want to hear anything. I want you to bear down like as if you have to poop, like as if you're pushing out poop. I don't want to hear anything. I am crowning at this point. And Rick makes a comment. He's like, oh my gosh, I can see her hair. She has so much hair. And I'm like, what? Like you can see her hair? And that like snapped me out of whatever planet I was on and brought me back, because I knew that she was right. Like she's almost here, like I can do it. And that was the best advice that she could have gave me, because I did what she said and you didn't hear anything. Those last couple pushes, I got her out. How she told me to push was like as if I had to poop. That's true. That's the type of muscles that you want to use. And it's just so weird because you can feel your butt opening. Speaking of poop, I did not poop. I asked the nurses and the doctors afterward, because that is one of my biggest fears. Even though it happens, it's a part of life. Many people do it. The doctors just wipe it away like you'll never even know. But I really didn't want to. And I asked them, I was like, you know, did I poop? And they told me no. But you wanna know what's crazy? This is my first child. I pushed her out in 10 minutes. Okay, I had her out in 10 minutes and like 5-6 pushes. I was so freaking determined to get her out. So the doctor's telling me, she's just like, on your next contraction I want you to push. But in my mind I was like, no, fuck that, I'm getting her out now. I was not contracting and I sat there and I pushed and she was like, or not. And it kind of made me laugh. But anyway, I didn't contract and I pushed her out, and they laid her on top of my chest, and on the second I saw her, I just bawled. I bawled my eyes out. This is my baby. I've been carrying her for 9 months and she's here and I did it. She's beautiful, okay? I will insert some photos. But honestly, like that moment was the best moment of my life. Like I would go back and redo it 10 times over again. The only change I would make would be to film more of it. That is it. That is all. She didn't get to film, but I did get photos of like, you know, her placenta and all that other stuff. The doctors probably thought that we were weird for that, but I didn't care what they thought. And speaking of the doctors, okay, so back to the point where I told you I was out of it, I just blocked everyone out. I literally blocked them out. It was the strangest thing. So I told you the bed was sitting up like an L and everything was cool. I was aware of my surroundings. I'm just in pain. But it's like once they laid me back, I was sitting up and the nurse was there, and once they laid me back, next thing you know, 10 people are surrounding me, doctors covered in suits, hats, gloves, everything. Next thing you know, I just look up, they're there, and I'm giving birth to my child and she's on my chest. It all happened so fast. Pushing out the placenta was nothing. Pushing her out was nothing. The top two things, let me tell you, that are the freaking worst, okay? One are the contractions right before, like when you're about 8 centimeters, 9 centimeters dilated. Those are completely awful. And because they are so close together, you feel like you cannot catch a freaking break, okay? That's one. Two, when they push on your stomach, it's to help shrink down your organs and to get all that blood out, all that fluid out. But that right there hurts so damn bad. I was not ready for it. I will be completely honest with you guys. The first time that my doctor, it was a natural reaction, okay? Please don't judge me. But the second that she pushed on my stomach, I swatted her hand so damn quick. It hurt, okay? It was so damn painful. It don't make no freaking sense. I literally swatted at her hand. And I apologized afterwards, of course. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a natural reflex. Like, you know, that was painful. And of course, the remainder time that you're there, they push on your stomach. They gotta massage it. It doesn't happen long. They just do it for maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, but it's just enough where it's like, you are sore. It hurts, okay? And then before you're allowed to leave the hospital, they ask that you use the bathroom, that you do a number 1 and a number 2, which is peeing and obviously taking shit. So before you leave, to make sure that all your stuff is working. I was scared to take my pee because I did tear. I did not do like a 3rd degree tear. It was very minor, okay? I only needed a couple stitches, but I was scared to pee because I'm like, what if the pee gets on those stitches? It's going to burn, you know. I was terrified. But anyway, I knocked that fear out. I peed. It wasn't bad. They give you this little squirt bottle, all these other women products to make it better down there, so that was cool. The thing that I was terrified of was freaking taking a poop. I literally told Rick, I'm like, look, I'm about to lie to them, tell them I took my poop, and we're gonna bounce when it's time to go. But you know, I ended up taking my poop, and it wasn't that bad because they give you stool softeners. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So needless to say, you know, my birth was so smooth. It really was. Everything went so smooth. And now here's my baby girl today. Her due date was May 2nd, and she came a week early, I believe, 5 days. This is terrible. I should know this. Anyway, she came on the 27th of April. She's still a Taurus. I'm a Taurus. Her grandpa is a Taurus. So we are Taurus gang over here. I know how May Taurus is. I don't know any April Tauruses. So this should be a fun journey with her to learn her and her little personality, see what traits that she picks up. So that's my birth vlog. Any other questions or things that you guys want to know, I can put in an additional video. I also want to do, like I said in the previous video, a breakdown of each trimester, what I went through, what to expect. I did not film the first night at home vlog with her, but I do plan on making, you know, night routines with her, our day routine, what a day looks like, you know, with her. It is still summertime before it gets cold. I do want to take her out to the pool and get that on camera too, her first time in the water. So it'll be fun. Like I said, a lot of it didn't get recorded. A lot of things that I wanted to get done filming this journey didn't happen, but it's not too late. So stay tuned for the next vlog. Thank you guys for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. I can't say that enough. Get your girl monetized, okay? That is the goal here. Thanks for watching.